And welcome into Game 2 of Round 1 of the NBIA AAA High School Playoffs here on Moncton High Sports. The Knights are down 1-0 in the series, and they look to counteract that here with a win tonight on home ice here at the K Arena. Puck is dropped. It's Braden Lane on this Sunday night, where it's quickly brought in by the Royals. Poked away there by Harris. Your starting goalies for tonight. The Moncton Hawk, Dexter McLaughlin, gets the goal for the Knights. He makes a pad save on that one. And Logan Wilson is currently in the blue paint for the Royals. Shot in, McLaughlin. He'll handle that one and steered into the corner. LeBlanc behind the net in a bit of trouble. He's hit up there by Bedford, as well as Somers, the former Moncton Flyer, to the line. Kavanaugh going across, trying to hit Atkinson. Atkinson will try to chop that one. This one goes way high. McLaughlin able to get that one, but he falls looking at it in the air, almost looking like Bo Bichette in the field. Now going down for Atkinson in the corner. Harris will launch that one across to the left wing. There's Gillis looking across for Brandon Warner. Brandon Warner skating in. He's going to try a shot on goal that misses just wide right, as the Royals come back with speed. They took a dominant 6-1 victory on their home ice at the Byron Dobson last Monday, where Game 3 will be tomorrow. There's a nice little snag by McLaughlin in the glove. And while we have this series, the other series is now actually complete. Harrison Trimble took 3 straight games over the Bernice McNaught Highlanders to secure themselves a spot in the final against the victor of this very series we have here. Working out in the corner. Curling around was Chappell. Chappell in the corner. He'll drop that one off for Lewis. Lewis back to Chappell in the corner. Battling with Ty Warner. Chappell being pinned. Ty Warner in there. Lewis gives a shot from behind to Daigle, and that's going to be called for a Moncton High power play. About 8:26, Moncton High will see their first power play of the night. There it is. Lewis just getting the hit a bit from behind on Daigle. So here we go. The Knights will start an early game here on the man advantage before it's quickly shot out towards the blue line. There's Ty Warner with a shot, and that was blocked off of Fleming and sent high into the air. In the corner, a beautiful saucer pass up to the blue line. Ty Warner will shoot it from far, and that one didn't get on net. They jam at it, curve it out in front. Manderson in there as well, but they can't put it behind Wilson. And some lineup changes to note. Wearing number 3 for the Royals is Owen Engelhart. Wearing number 9 is Seamus Bournet. Purdy is wearing 21. And for Moncton High, 19 tonight. Playing U15 AA hockey with Zagda Dieppe. It's Tatum Drover who slots into the lineup. Ty Warner, his pass across was redirected. Harris will have to go back to his own end to get it. Harris watched closely by Bedford. Harris will drop it off in behind. Ty Warner going after it there. Sommers in shorthanded. Just less than a minute and a half to go. Harris behind the net again. Bedford will quickly swing by and not go to attack. Harris almost losing control of the puck, trying to send that one up over to Daigle. Harris and Daigle, they battle around for it at the blue line. Little toe drag in the middle, curve and left off for Harris. Harris steps into the zone, puts towards the net. That one flipped high, stopped at the line. Harris walking in. He's going to try a shot. That one just misses the cage. Working back, Ty Warner up from Anderson across. Back door for Harris, and they couldn't quite get it. McCready, he'll wire that one around, and down the ice they'll go. Ty Warner around the net. His own cage throwing that one up. Couldn't hit Manderson. This one gets past Newcomb and will be down the ice for an icing on the power play. Never something you want to do. 38 seconds to go. On the penalty to Nolan Lewis. Harris across Ty Warner. Warner hitting the brakes. He maneuvers by 1 as they enter the zone. Warner's going to wire this one around the board. It's going to be caught in there by Manderson. The Knights were playing with 4 players. Quite the opposite of Team USA just this morning. And the Royals have it behind the net. Shorthanded, 10 seconds to go. This one will be fired back towards the net of McLaughlin, where he'll gather it in behind. Penalty now about to expire, and it does. So Moncton High unsuccessful in their first chance. Here's Harris coming in, almost going end to end with a beautiful move, but couldn't quite finish it. Ty Warner through the zone at center. He'll lift this one in, it'll bank off the boards. Recovered in behind the cage from Lewis, who's out of the box. The Royals come back up with steam the other way. Walking in here, Sommers, the shot turned away by McLaughlin. The rebound sat right on the high slot momentarily before Brandon Warner was able to get that one out to center. Here's Isaac Brooks wearing number 7. A great hockey player, an even better golfer. Woods throwing this one up. That one off a skate of Gillis. It's now back in the zone. Sommers going up there for Stoddard. Stoddard in behind for Young. Stoddard, side of the net. It's right on the post. And it's cleared around by Woods. At the line, Brooks holds this one in. Stoddard going down. Avery circling in the corner. Stoddard and Avery, they pin each other up right against the corner. In comes help from Young. Some cross checks being given. Brandon Warner stops it at the ringette line and will throw it on to the opposite side. Recovering back for the Royals. Here's Engelhart throwing that one up through a pile through center. Regathered by Gregor Stoddard and will be put behind the net of McLaughlin. McLaughlin stops it in there. Working in, Ty Warner hits the break. Someone stopped on the red line before Woods giving it over. Here's Lutz throwing that one out right in front. And the Knights somehow managed to get that one away. Brandon Warner into the zone. Wilson will gather this one in behind, throw it around. This one's going to go up to the blue line for Ty Warner. Warner will shoot this one. It's a high floater that goes in behind the net. Rim round stopped in by Murray. His shot put to the net. Denied. And covered by Wilson. So the Royals with a bunch of unfamiliar faces in the lineup. They are still managing to take control of this game early. There's a quick backhander. I believe that one off the side of the net. Newcomb going around the boards, intercepted by Beal. Beal, he's hitting to the boards, taking a bit of a stumble, but does stay on his feet. In the middle, regathered Murray, little backhand into the blue line. Losing possession of the puck. Here's Beal on a breakaway. Beal, the shot turned away by Wilson. Almost a costly turnover from Newcomb. There's another quick shot that misses wide. And that's the first big chance for the Moncton High Purple Knights thus far. Ty Warner through the zone. Feels like he's barely gone off the ice so far. A very determined and passionate winner. Here's Manderson, side of the net, the shot, and a good save by Wilson. So the Knights with a little bit of a pushback. Here's the chance from earlier. Alex Beal stepped in on a breakaway and couldn't quite bury it on Wilson. He gets enough of the pad extended as the faceoff went to Wilson's left. The Royals try to get a breakout going. They will get out of the zone. Sommers placing him behind. Tried to get that to Bedford. That was picked and stolen by Drover, who will clear it in. Working his way behind the net. Here's Purdy hitting the brakes. Will jump down against the boards for Kavanaugh. Luke Kavanaugh, he'll flip this one high. Caught down by Harris. He chops that one down. Then gets it stolen by Bedford. Working in the zone. Tim Bedford across, but they're in offside. Atkinson thought otherwise. So only one penalty thus far this game. That's all we got. Only 2 other games across the province in the female division. Les Olympiennes de l'Odyssée are up 2-1 on the Highlanders. And Miramichi Valley and James M. Hill are tied up at 1. And our game just getting underway. Still 0-0. Here's Murray going behind the net. He absorbs a hit and gets a reverse off even, and Avery will accidentally send that one into his own bench. I believe the faceoff should be in Moncton High's end, and it looks like it will be. It's going to go to McLaughlin's left. To be taken by Daigle. Daigle unsuccessful in that draw. Went up to the line where it's cleared him by Newcomb. Another one sent right up the gut. Newcomb plays it right to the high slot. There's the shot, and I believe that one just caught a piece of McLaughlin's shoulder at the line. Brooks trying to turn and spin and get that one into the zone. Deflected out by Drover. Working up his Curvin. Curvin on Newcomb. Curvin might have a step. Curvin hauled down. And a great defensive play by Newcomb to not take a penalty and take down his man. Going in the corner, Bournet. Up the wall, Drover. Murray trying to get a stick on it. Flipped in, Bournet. Looking, he'll send that one around the wall. Going up to the blue line, stopped in here by Brooks, but digging at it profusely is Curvin. Again, Brooks at the line. He'll throw it against the blue line, and here's Daigle. Working along the left, Braden Daigle stepping into the zone. The little flip past Newcomb to get into the corner. He hits the brakes, gets a hand on a stick to the middle of the one-timer attempt. Here's Beelan off the bench and couldn't quite toe drag his man, and the Royals come back the other way. Fired in with authority. Daigle in there to regather. A strong start from either of these teams, creating their chances individually. Manderson, the backhander through center, had tried to hit Beal, went right to the tape of a Royals defenseman. There's Webb being forced to walk the line as Beal was in the zone. Engelhart in behind the net. Poke check attempt by Beal as the Royals get a very clean breakout. But Harris stops this one at center. Regathered back. Woods on defense. Shoves his man. Still regathered. The pass across, and that one just slid under the stick of Stoddard. There's a shot. That's off the high glass. Young going to chase after it with Beal. Sent down here, Sommers. Cutting it up in the zone where he was poke checked by Manderson. Harris across for Beal to the middle. Webb. He's destroyed at center by McCready. Woods back in center. Sent to the middle. Harris trying to work his way in. Had the puck lost in behind him. We get to 11 minutes left in this first. Here's Woods. Hit by Lutz. Couldn't quite get that one to Webb as that one's out of his reach. Back on defense. Purdy. The little D to D. Up it goes for Lutz. Back for Harris. The little flip through the zone. It's caught in. Walking in. Here's Kavanaugh. Trying a dangle. There's the backhand. That one right loose out in the slot before it's taken out in the corner. Manderson up against the wall. Almost held in. It's kicked out by Avery and taken by Gillis. Ryan Gillis working in, and the loose puck dig did not fool Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh, he's hit from behind by Gillis. And that's going to be our second boarding penalty, I do believe. Ryan Gillis, a really physical player, had gone for the hit, and Kavanaugh turns. It'll be a Royals power play for 2 minutes. Trying to get the exact call for you. There's Atkinson winning the draw at the line. There's the shot off the blocker. McLaughlin, this one goes flying up in the air. Brandon Warner gloved that one down and almost threw it to the line. Working in, Bedford to the net. That one in and out of the feet of Woods. There's Woods hitting Young. Throwing that one out in front, goes up to the line. Kavanaugh steps in, fakes the shot, goes across. There it is, that just goes above the net, and it's Rin and will go outside the blue line. And it is going to be a 2 for a board from Gillis. Stepping in, Bedford, the little backhander, will go behind the net. It's taken by Atkinson. Reed Atkinson looks up towards the line, the pass, it's deflected, bouncing up in the air, juggled a bit, and it's Avery that ends up getting this one out of the zone. Loose at center. Here's Curvin, might have a breakaway, but a diving effort. Couldn't pinpoint who that was. That could have been a dangerous chance for Moncton High shorthanded. As here he is again. Atkinson will drop it off. Stepping in, Sommers cuts towards the boards. Sommers on the line. One-timer from Kavanaugh, misses the net. Goes in and out of the feet of McLaughlin before being cleared down at the opposite end of the ice. Some great chances so far in the Royals power play. Here's Kavanaugh that recovers. Luke Kavanaugh, one hand on his stick, just glides in his own end, wasting time on his own power play before sending that one up the boards for Fleming. Fleming to the middle, Lutz, poke check. Here's Kerman walking in. There's a slap shot. And saved by Wilson. The whistle hasn't gone yet. He clearly didn't want to play it. That'll take even more time. And we didn't catch it, but McLaughlin going out of his net. Lost an edge and fell to his knees. Quickly looked over at his bench, made sure no one saw. But Curvin, shorthanded, just walked in, wired one towards the net. And Wilson held that puck for about a solid 5 seconds. The refs really wanted that whistle to be blown. 10 seconds still left to go on the power play. Warner around the net. He'll wire that one out and will go all the way down the ice. And that one will kill off the penalty. So a great job by the Moncton High Purple Knights on that penalty kill. Royals come back with steam. Lutz, that was a miscommunication with Lewis. Now taken by Day with a little flip over to Beal. Finds it in his feet. Beal on the left wing, tried to shove it to the middle. That one in and out of a pair of skates. Royals recover in the corner. Tossed up, blocked in. Here's Webb working his way in. Webb, the shot! Turned away by Wilson. A great chance from Julian Webb as he might have another steal here. Webb in the corner. He gets pinned hard against the boards by Newcomb. Continues to be shoved as the puck comes free to center. Harris across for Ty Warner. Ty Warner trying to go up the wall. That one misses Beal and will go down for icing. And the Knights desperately need some changes. But those will be refused. Still a 0-0 hockey game. Both teams have played this one pretty evenly. A power play for each. But none still able to capitalize in the corner. Kavanaugh circling it around. Caught in by the Royals defense as they still struggle to maintain possession. The Royals, they work up with speed behind the net. McLaughlin around the boards. Stopped in across by Atkinson. They try to go down. There's a fight for it in behind the net, but it's taken around the boards there by Avery. Stopped by Brandon Warner. Warner to the middle. Here's Harris. Exiting the zone with speed. Campbell Harris working up past one. Harris still in with it. Loses possession barely. LeBlanc trying a little flip. Little no-look pass ended up working out perfectly as Warner goes off the boards for Harris. Harris stepping in, cutting wide, winds in, and the pass to center just didn't work. Here's LeBlanc and a Royal over skating it. Could have been a dangerous chance for both. At the line, Harris towards the net. It's redirected by the tall Brandon Warner. Just wide. There's Avery throwing a huge hit in open ice. A clean one at that. There's a shot that just goes over the net. McLaughlin with a nice catch off the netting. And that's a man that we don't see throw his weight around too often. Launch 10 in purple, coming out of nowhere, sending his man to the ground. And behind the net, Ty Warner going up against the boards. Brooks couldn't hold this one in. Here's Curvin dashing with speed. Curvin up the right wing, cutting in. There's the shot, and it elevates over the net. Brendan Murray blocking this one in at the line. Again, just barely by mere inches before it was quickly taken. Working against the boards. Drover sent back for Ty Warner. Ty Warner circling in his end. The little pass to Murray. Back for Ty Warner. Warner waits, looks far side. That went off a couple pairs of feet. Drover barely getting onside. Daigle stepping in across. Curvin the backhander towards the net. It was blocked by a sliding Isaac Brooks. The middle, Murray will shoot this one in. Saved by the chest of Wilson. Drop for Brooks. Brooks against the wall. Back for Ty Warner at center. Warner against the boards. Another chip there by Gillis. Ty Warner again at his blue line. Going in, Gillis, the little poke trying to extend his stick as Gillis winds in, and he was quickly turned away by the Royals defense. They've been doing a good job so far, not letting any Purple Knights dangle in. Here's a steal, Harris the shot. That one just missed wide. Another one he's going to try to center, and he couldn't quite find a tape of a Purple Knight. LeBlanc, or that's Woods, excuse me, throwing that one against the boards. There's a hit from Bedford on Avery. Royal falling down at center. Avery again being hit. There's Brandon Warner with a huge hit, but that one's going to be called for boarding. And that's an unusual occurrence. I believe 3 boarding calls in one period. That'll send the Royals back to the power play. There's the initial bump on Avery. And Brandon Warner against the boards there. And again, that one's just from behind. Definitely not looking too intentional. And we have a team calling a timeout. That's the Royals. And we ourselves will take a timeout. Less than 5 to go in the first. Still knotted up at 0-0. Braden Lane from the K Arena on the Sunday night. Round 1, Game 2 of the 2026 NBIA AAA Hockey East Division. And we'll have the face-off to McLaughlin's left, where it's won cleanly by Riverview High. At the line, it's Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh, the soft dish off for Atkinson. Or that's Somers, excuse me, back for Atkinson. There's a shot from Somers that's denied in goal by McLaughlin, and Woods will find this one and fire it down. 4:20 left to go in the first. Picking up behind the net, here's Somers. That was Kavanaugh, excuse me. Here's Somers with it in his own end. Somers waiting, weaving through center. Jackson Somers still with it. Cradling to his forehand. Goes back to the blue line. after the button hook, the blue line, he walks. There's a shot blocked by Daigle. He almost puts it back in the feet of Somers, but it's back into the Riverview High end. Again, another great job by the Moncton High penalty killers. There's a misplaced pass. Kavanaugh goes back with it for Riverview High. Kavanaugh walks, curls back, waits, watched by Avery. Kavanaugh will circle around in the corner. Throw this one up through center. Hot in here as the Royals break their way in. Somers waiting, stopping at the ringette line. Somers, a little drop pass. Bedford waits, pass in the middle. Attempted shot, there it is. It's just wide from Atkinson. Avery going to be first one on the puck. An awkward angle to try to get this one out. He'll try it again. There's Gillis in to get it just outside the blue line. He'll be on it again before it's cleared. Woods has a bit of time. He'll use it before launching it down the boards and to the opposite end of the ice, where it'll come to rest behind the net of Wilson. Less than 3 to go now. In this first period, still 0-0. As you can just tell, the playoff atmosphere in the building, as things just get a little bit more intense when your season is on the line. Around the boards, there's a huge reverse hit right in the corner. And the physicality seems to ramp up again. Murray throwing that one up against the wall. The pass to center for Manderson. Manderson skating up along the left side. He'll put one to the net. And that one was just taken by Wilson and directed wide. In the corner, working in. There's a little pass to center. That one flipped up and wide. Gillis to the line for Ty Warner along the boards. Here it is behind for Manderson. Manderson trying to turn out in front. He stumbles to the ground. It's room to long. Webb will gather this one. Less than 2 to go. Manderson and behind the net again. In Gretzky's office goes up to Webb. Webb couldn't get the pass off before he was smothered up against the boards. There's another huge hit in the middle where Murray is reversed by Bournet. Ty Warner, he'll strip the puck from McCready in his own end. Along for Murray. Murray stopping at the blue line, trying to go up through some feet for Webb. It's regathered back by Chappell. Ethan Chappell bringing it in, the backhander to the middle. Stopped there by Murray. Some dangles being shown by Hebert, or by Young, excuse me. Ty Warner across, trying to get it to Manderson. Manderson dangles into the zone, barely stays on side, cuts to the middle, gives himself an angle. There's the shot, it's redirected, and that was even a close chance for Moncton High, getting down to the final minute. In the middle, Braden Daigle. He'll flip this one in. Isaac Brooks. The little backhander against the wall. Kervin almost able to keep that one in. There's a collision from Drover. Tatum Drover throwing this one across. Harrison in the zone, caught in there by Wilson. So all fours on the clock, 44.4 left to go in the first. And what a period it has been. And Moncton High is going to take their timeout. And again, we'll take a little timeout here on Moncton High Sports. Braden Lane from the K on a Sunday night. 0-0, last minute play. Offensive zone draw for Moncton High as it's won and taken around by Newcomb. Warner trying to hold in at the line. He barely will. And the clock had not been running. Very confused as to why there was a whistle. Some players kept continuing. The clock stayed put at 44.4. Gonna see if they're gonna take any time off. See exactly what they'll do, and they will. They'll take 20 seconds off, so now it's at 24.4, and the face-off will go outside the zone. Make that 24.4 left to go on the clock here in the first. Daigle wins the draw. Curvin steps in. He's going to let one go, and that's off the pad of Wilson and directed to the far boards. Cleared around where Manderson will go to chase. It's two Royals that regather. Warner stopped in at the line. Shot in. Brooks going around the boards. That one hits the netting. So 6.9. Still remaining. The Purple Knights are going to try to quickly win a draw. Maybe get a chance on net. Tied up, and again, it's back up into the netting. With 4.4 left to go, we're going to try this face-off again. Jackson Avery in the draw off a tie-up. Quick shot there from Curvin that misses wide. Harris walking in. He's going to try, and that one off a stick, deflected up and out of play. And we'll make it 0-0 after our first. A well-played period by either team. Only penalties that period. They were 3 penalties, all for boarding. Nolan Lewis, Ryan Gillis, Brandon Warner, all getting 2. And we'll be back for the second period here on Moncton High Sports. It's Brayden Lane from the K Arena in Louisville for game 2 of round 1. Still knotted up at 0 after our first period. As well as Somers, the former Moncton Flyer, to the line. Kavanaugh going across, trying to hit Atkinson. Atkinson will try to chop that one. This one goes way high. McLaughlin able to get that one, but he falls on their home ice at the Byron Dobson last Monday, where game 3 will be tomorrow. There's a nice little snag by McLaughlin in the glove. Battling with Ty Warner. Chappell being pinned. Ty Warner in there. Lewis gives a shot from behind to Daigle, and that's in the corner. A beautiful saucer pass into the blue line. Ty Warner will shoot it from far, and that one didn't get on net. They jam at it. Curvin out in front. Manderson in there as well, but they can't. And the home cage from Lewis is out of the box. The Royals come back up with steam the other way. Walking in here, Somers, the shot turned away by McLaughlin. The rebound, the line. Losing possession of the puck. Here's Beal on a breakaway. Beal, the shot turned away by Wilson. Unsuccessful in that draw. Went up to the line where it's cleared to Mike Newcomb. Another one sent right up the gut. Newcomb plays it right to the high slot. There's the shot, and I believe that one just caught. Poke check by Manderson. Harris across for Beal to the middle. Webb, he's destroyed at center. Avery taken by Gillis. Ryan Gillis working in, and the loose puck dig did not fool Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh, he's hit from behind by Gillis. Trying to get the exact call for you. There's Atkinson winning the draw at the line. There's the shot off the blocker. McLaughlin. This one goes Fleming to the middle. Lutz. Poke check. Here's Curvin walking in. There's the slap shot. And saved by Wilson. The whistle hasn't gone yet. Cover in the corner. Tossed up. Blocked in. Here's Webb working his way in. Webb. The shot turned away by Wilson. Line. Harris towards the net. It's redirected by the tall Brandon Warner. Just wide. There's Avery throwing a huge hit in open ice. Royal falling down at center. Avery again being hit. There's Brandon Warner with a huge hit, but that one's going to be Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh, soft dish off for Atkinson. Or that's Somers, excuse me, back for Atkinson. There's a shot from Somers that's denied. Around the boards, there's a huge reverse hit right in the corner. On their home ice, the Byron Dobson last Monday, where game 3 will be tomorrow. There's a nice little snag by McLaughlin in the glove. Battling with Ty Warner. Chappell being pinned. Ty Warner in there. Lewis gives a shot from behind to Daigle, and that's in the corner. A beautiful saucer pass up to the blue line. Ty Warner will shoot it from far, and that one didn't get on net. They jam at it, curve it out in front. Manderson in there as well, but they can't. In behind the cage from Lewis, who's out of the box. Royals come back up with steam the other way. Walking in here, Sommers, the shot turned away by McLaughlin. The rebound, the line. Losing possession of the puck. Here's Beal on a breakaway. Beal, the shot turned away by Wilson. Unsuccessful in that draw. Went up to the line where it's cleared to Mike Newcomb. Another one sent right up the gut. Newcomb plays it right to the high slot. There's the shot, and I believe that one just caught. Poke check by Manderson. Harris across for Beal to the middle. Webb, he's destroyed at center. Avery taken by Gillis. Ryan Gillis working in, and the loose puck deke did not fool Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh, he's hit from behind by Gillis. Trying to get the exact call for you. There's Atkinson winning the draw. At the line, there's the shot off the blocker. McLaughlin, this one goes flop. Fleming to the middle. Lutz, poke check. Here's Kerber walking in. There's the slap shot. And saved by Wilson. The whistle hasn't gone yet. Cover in the corner. Tossed up, blocked in. Here's Webb working his way in. Webb, the shot turned away by Wilson. The line, Harris towards the net. It's redirected by the tall Brandon Warner. Just wide. There's Avery throwing a huge hit in open ice. Royal falling down at center. Avery again being hit. There's Brandon Warner with a huge hit. But that one's going to be Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh, the soft dish off for Atkinson. Or that's Sommers, excuse me, back for Atkinson. There's a shot from Sommers that's denied. Around the boards, there's a huge reverse hit right in the corner. And we're back with 20 minutes on the clock here on period 2. Still a 0-0 game. Even strength for right now. And it's the Royals that win the draw. Kavanaugh circles it in. There's McLaughlin that falls down and behind the net. And a whistle for something. I guess we just needed a stoppage. And that's something you often see on McLaughlin as a goaltender. He loves to go outside the net and play it. There's times like that. He's going to wish we're not on tape. There's a quick shot towards the net where he denies that one. It's redirected in the corner. Brandon Warner, he's it against the board. Sommers trying a backhander, trying to get that one past Avery. Brandon Warner going in with Bedford. Back up to Sommers. Sommers across, waiting. Kavanaugh, the shot. Just misses wide. Upped in by Purdy. Around in the corner, Ty Warner. Getting that one up, shot up, and caught down by McLaughlin. And I'm sure we're going to want to have another look at that. As, Timber. McLaughlin goes falling down behind the net, just losing edge while skating backwards. And a very successful first period for Moncton High, just walking down past the locker room after the first. You could just hear the excitement in the room, lots of cheers and claps. They are very impressed on how they played that first period. Shots were 12-8 in favor of Riverview High. They had 2 power plays, however. It's behind the net. Chappell waiting before being pressured into the corner. They still battle for it. They dig for a loose puck before it's taken out. Lewis out in front. Only one there is Curvin. Well, he'll flip this one high. And in the center, working with speed. Here's Drover getting around of Royal, who blew a tire, throwing that one out in front. No one there, just trying to get that one out of possession in desperation. Curvin in behind the net. That one taken by Chappell, kicked off his feet. Drover out-muscling his man, putting it down behind the net. McCready in with Curvin. Curvin putting that one in behind. Drover going up for a hit on Chappell. Against the wall, Curvin up against the side of the net. Drover still digging for it. Almost went out in front. It sticked away there by Englehart. The Knights get it set up. Warner across for Murray. Murray steps up with the shot. And that one saved by Wilson, although he didn't get all of it, but got just enough. Beal almost able to hold it in. The backhander from Warner barely stays in. A nice move. Working in, Curvin taken down, and that's going to be a penalty that will send Moncton High to the power play. Ben McCready to the box for our first penalty that is not boarding, where he took Ethan Curvin down right in the slot. He almost had a perfect slot shot. Atkinson and to take the draw shorthanded against Daigle, where Atkinson will win. It's shot, but gloved down by Harris right at the blue line. Across, Ty Warner. Warner having to make a quick pass. That one intercepted by Atkinson. Flipped down. Great hand-eye coordination by Harris to chop that one down. Side of the net, Lutz with the shot was redirected towards the Moncton High blue line. Here streaking out, Curvin, the man who drew the penalty, makes a nice move to get around Newcomb. His clearing attempt blocked by the shin pads of Manderson. Manderson waiting, going to the blue line. Ty Warner back for Manderson. Manderson stepping up, has some room. His shot is denied by Wilson. Daigle in the corner, out-muscled by Kavanaugh, and that one will be propelled down the ice. So it's Seamus Bournet, rather than McCready, excuse me. That was 2 for a hook. Harris in the corner. Moved across for Ty Warner. Warner will drop it for Daigle. Brayden Daigle enters the zone. Will throw it around the board, stopping it in the corner. Chipped across for Curvin on the opposite side. Curvin sent it up high. The shot, redirected. Manderson trying to jab at it. And Manderson more of blocked it than deflected it. So a quick shot from the blue line. Manderson just unable to bang it home. 50 seconds exactly to go. Clean face-off win by Avery. Ty Warner, a little pass to Drover. There's a stick that goes flying over the net of Wilson. And I haven't seen a stick that high since the multiple high sticking penalties in the gold medal game. And here's Drover into the zone, hits the brakes, looks across. His pass blocked, trying to get it back. Bedford will work it out, almost spring his man. And it's shot in by McCready. Ty Warner back in his own end. Well, backhanded, no looker. Bedford the Somers, the shot just missed. A good short-handed chance as Moncton High's penalty about to expire. Or Moncton High's power play, I should say. Flipped out from Somers. At center, Ty Warner off for Harris. Harris trying to maneuver his way into the zone. Sent out, Somers one-on-one, Ty Warner. In joining him is Lutz. Sending that one across, and Lutz was unable to extend, get to that one back door. There's some rough stuff coming along against the boards. The flip, knocked down by Beal. Potential 3-on-1. Here's Beal inside of the net, looking out in front. Almost hit Gillis perfectly. There's Wilson that gets hit up high, and he's down. And Avery is going to get goalie interference, although he argues the call. Wilson's still down. But Wilson's still down. So Jackson Avery, a 2-minute for goalie interference. Wilson still being checked up on. We'll take a quick injury timeout here on Moncton High Sports, Braden Lane, K Arena. 15-19 left to go in the second period. Riverview High will be on the power play when we return. So it looks like Wilson is back up. He stays in his crease. So it looks like he's going to stay in this one. Taking a sip of water, Gatorade, and we'll have a look at the replay on what happened with Beal streaking into the zone. And again, it does look like Avery just catches him accidentally. So the Royals off to a 2-minute power play here in the early stage of the second. It's quickly shot out of the zone where Kavanaugh will have to reset. Kavanaugh dropped off for Somers. Somers works in. Will cut back. Send a little dish up for Bedford. Bedford working in, a little juke to get past Manderson, gets past Brandon Warner. Bedford walking in, cutting wide, and button hooks towards the blue line. Send over to Kavanaugh. Back for Bedford. Bedford waits to the middle, no one there. It's backhanded down by Manderson to the opposite end of the ice. Wilson gets out of his net to stop it. We're back by Kavanaugh over to Somers. Somers, the saucer pass through center. Working up here is Lewis. Lewis was swept away by Harris, and he'll shoot that one down the length of the ice. Wilson again unable to stop this one. Manderson, the first one down for Moncton High. Manderson will try to dangle to the center. He'll now realize he's short-handed and move his way back to the zone. Kavanaugh for Somers. Somers skates up with speed through center. Tries to cut around Harris, and Harris gets the better of him. Back for Somers out in front. That one just loose of the slot. Curvin working out, and Curvin's going to get the call. So now it's going to be a 5-on-3 for 42 seconds. So here's Somers sending this one out in front. The Royals will take a timeout. We'll be in the third of the game. We'll take our own timeout here on Moncton High Sports. It's Braden Lane from the K. 42 seconds on a 5-on-3 coming up for Riverview High. Riverview High starting on a 5-on-3. Just under 40 seconds left to go, and then it's quickly out of the zone. So a great job from Moncton High to get that one out to start off. Somers skating up. The 5-on-3. Make it Woods, Daigle, and Harris as it's up to the line. Kavanaugh stops. Really trying to slow the play down here. We'll send it off to his right. Back up to the blue line. Somers mishandles it, and it's outside the zone. And that one he's going to want to have back. Kavanaugh skates up past the blue line. The penalty now done, so it's a 5-on-4. Avery's now out of the box. Avery will join the penalty kill. Lewis in the corner. Kavanaugh with possession. There's the shot, blockered away by McLaughlin out on the net. Up top, Somers waits, quick shot, glove down again by Dexter McLaughlin. So there was a clutch blocker save earlier. Just less than a minute to go on the Ethan Curvin cross-checking call. McCready dances on the line. We'll send it down to his left, over for Lutz. Down behind the net they go now. It's Weir that's being shoved profusely behind the net. Purple Knights the attempted clear, blocked in by Lutz. Lutz cutting around in the corner, moving to the net. There's the shot, saved, and the rebound. Couldn't quite get a handle on it. There was Fleming. Back up McCready. Waiting. He's going to let one go. And that one saved and shot out of the zone. And go all the way back to Netta Wilson. Moncton High doing, again, another great job killing these penalties as Lutz makes his way up. Loses possession. It's back down to the Riverview High netminder. McCready will play a backhander behind for Lutz. Lutz shoved by Gillis. Now in even more pressure now. Gillis reads him like a book in the corner. Penalties now over. 5-on-5. Warner comes in. Lutz again, the pass to center. It's a turnover. Curvin walks in and shoots, and that one over the net. And what a free pizza that was. And Curvin couldn't quite get the puck on net. There's a huge reverse hit on Gillis right at center. Brandon Warner going after Fleming. And there's another hit on Gillis right next to the bench. And again, the physicality takes a quick spike upwards in this game. Ty Warner back with it. He'll flip that one up in the netting accidentally. Still a 0-0 in period 2, getting down to the midway point. Moncton High back in their own end. Daigle will lay a no-look pass up for Beal. That's Curvin rather that shoots it in. Stopped by Wilson. So now we'll have a Moncton High offensive zone draw. Faceoff's going to go to Wilson's right. One by Moncton High. Curvin couldn't quite get the shot off. It's now across for Bedford. Bedford moving up the wall, streaking it with speed. Bedford in, and he's taken down. Somehow still had possession of the puck. He's in the net. Now getting in a shoving match with McLaughlin. And what's happening here? Jackson Avery's going after his man, as well as Drover. There's a Royal that dropped his gloves and stick. That's Atkinson. He's just adjusting his helmet. Wilson goes out past the ringette line. Gives a nice little stare to McLaughlin. .11 minutes to go in the second. This game is getting feisty. Wilson has already challenged McLaughlin. There's a quick shot, and McLaughlin will turn that one away. This game still knotted up at all zeros. High up off the draw. A shot put to the net where it went around the net. Now in the corner. They look after it. Newcomb waiting at the line. Bedford trying to get a poke on it. Avery going around the net. He's almost hit big from Atkinson. There's Warner laying his man out right next to the boards. That one being Isaac Brooks. This one outside the line will now go behind the net of McLaughlin. Stopped at the side, Ty Warner waiting. Brandon Warner will request a pass. He'll get it, regather it back, and put it behind the cage of Wilson. Wilson stopping, almost mishandling the puck. Stole it from Newcomb. And a dangerous chance. Here's Manderson trying to skate on the zone. Poke check by Somers. Atkinson over to Somers, back to Atkinson. They run in a bit of traffic as the puck slowly trickles towards the net. Somers laid back for Atkinson in the corner. Atkinson up, hovers the face-off circle, and his shot was blocked away by Murray. Ty Warner, his pass across will be a delayed icing. I'd try to get that one to Manderson. Back into the D zone for Moncton High. As they look to have won this draw in a tie-up, it's the Royals that bring it up front. There's a turnaround shot where McLaughlin barely got a piece. Sticks whack as they battle for it. Manderson trying to pull this one out of the zone. He will. Getting tied up with Webb a little bit. Regathered back. Here's Fleming bringing it in. Fleming trying to split the D. Loses possession, and McLaughlin will take that one. And there's Murray that goes down into the corner. And again, more scraps. The Royals will make some last-minute changes. Capel in the draw. Wins it. Stumped in behind the net. Here are the Knights breaking out of the zone. Working and shooting it in is Drover. Banks off the boards. Curran. They tried to corral that one. It's Daigle that will put it in behind the net. Curran to go chase. One retaken by Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh hits the brakes. Pressure from Drover. Daigle almost stopping at the line. Harris the shot, and that one took a bounce and right onto the tape of Kavanaugh before he sent that one across. There's Lewis walking in with a quick shot, and that one almost taking a rebound right in front. Harris will send this one all the way down where it's stopped by Wilson, so will not go for icing. Kavanaugh regathers. At the hash marks he is. Will flip. Harris swats that one down. And delayed high stick before it was touched up. Lewis walking in, saved by McLaughlin. Harris in the corner. Protecting the puck as he goes up the boards. Harris clearly at the end of his shift. Walks in with a shot and didn't get all of it, as it was blocked by a Riverview High defender. LeBlanc the attempted shot. That one's Woods, excuse me. Now back to the line. Harris waits, he'll make the safe play and dump it in. Kavanaugh will find it behind the net. The backhander. They'll go around the boards. Woods comes in to control that one. McCready around the boards, blocked by Bedford. Bedford hit by Gillis. Regathered back from Bedford out of the pile where it's flipped up over the stick of Bournet to the middle. Harris trying a bit of fancy dangles. Woods across for Ty Warner. Warner up against the boards. High caught down by Kavanaugh. As there's more big collisions. Mornay the shot turned away by McLaughlin. Harris out in front. There's Woods to get it out. Off the boards. Here comes Brandon Warner. Brandon Warner will slash the stick out of a hand of a Royal and will touch up. And some slashes from Brandon Warner. It's hard to keep the stick in your hand, especially because he's probably got 95 flex. Well, Moncton High back to the penalty kill. There off the draw, it's Daigle. Braden Daigle skating wide on Kavanaugh, cutting back, and will kill more time shorthanded before sending it to Murray. Over to Ty Warner, and he'll zing that one down to the opposite side of the ice. Kavanaugh behind the net. Irvin will survey. Sommers will drop it off in behind. Kavanaugh going up for Atkinson. Or that's Bedford, rather, that goes over for Sommers. Sommers skating in. There's a quick shot. It'll be redirected and taken to the side. Bedford waiting in the corner, has some room, goes out in front, tried to hit Lewis. It's bouncing around out in front. Lewis the turnaround shot. Daigle will go behind the net. Braden Daigle against the boards, and this one will get out and all the way down the ice, where Wilson will turn that one away with his pad. Penalty halfway done. Sommers works his way in, stops, puts it to the net, gets it behind the net now after that. First attempt was blocked to the line. Kavanaugh waiting across, delaying. Lewis Up for Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh will let one go, and it's over the net as Harris tried to whack that one out of the zone. He's now in a battle. There's Ty Warner being shoved aggressively into the boards. Pins the puck up. Ty Warner doing a great job on defense. Daigle digging. Lewis in there. Almost every Royal on the ice. Here's Kavanaugh. Fakes the slap shot at the blue line. To his left, down low, Lewis. Back up high, Fleming. Fleming, Kavanaugh, blue line. Lets one go. Blocked off the stick of Daigle. Curvin will find this open ice. His clear blocked by the glove of Fleming. Sent back to the blue line. Somers the shot. That one another block. 7 seconds left on the Brandon Warner slashing call. We'd like to acknowledge and thank the current 80 watching along on a Sunday night. Still a 0-0 hockey game, 5:15 to go. High up off the draw, Rendell on the board, but stopped in by McCready. This power play now over, so we're back to some 5-on-5. Just over 5 minutes to go in period 2. We still have not seen our icebreaker so far. Waiting a little bit on the Sunday night, deflected into the zone. They're going to call that icing. It appears it was just deflected before the red line, I believe off of Warner. McLaughlin's left, the faceoff will go. Taken by Chappell, where he'll be unsuccessful. Harris against the wall, pinching down is McCready. And his clear off the netting, so another quick whistle. Beal finding the loose puck at his own blue line. Sent back to Harris. Harris dangling through a couple. Here's Harris weaving into the zone. He'll go into the corner. Harris looks, gets past Engelhart. Now gets poke checked by him as Webb now applies pressure. Webb with Engelhart drops his stick. Atkinson, his clear blocked by Manderson. Second attempt will get out to the neutral zone. Harris curling around. Will send that to the opposite boards. Looking there, there's a backhander off the glass. Harris will regather. The attempted one-touch pass from Woods to Webb doesn't work. Harris again will go up, see Manderson as he threads the needle. Manderson works his way in, waits and fires right into the glove of Wilson. I believe he had Webb backdoor, elected to take the shot. Now less than 4 minutes to go in period 2. Avery into the draw against Somers. There's a quick shot by Brandon Warner as he might get his own rebound as it's flipped up towards the blue line. Ty Warner, the attempted shot, the bouncing puck. He somehow was able to at least sweep it next to him in desperation. Here's Murray back with it. Against the wall. Back across for Newcomb. Newcomb, his clear, it's blocked. Walking in, Gillis trying to get a stick on it. One night against two Royals. There's Atkinson. And that was Bedford, or Young rather, in the thick of it. Covered up by McLaughlin as we get to 3 minutes left in the second with still no goals in this hockey game. A very rare sight. Knights in their defensive zone. It's a battle down in the near corner. Huff from the angle to see who's exactly involved. There's Daigle. Going around for Ty Warner. Ty Warner turning it over to Lutz, giving a shove as he's pinned. Knights the little flip out. Another high fly ball from Newcomb. It's a Drover to recover behind the net. Drover waiting at the goal line, will now send it across, lay a perfect tape to tape over for Ty Warner. Ty Warner into the zone, waiting, little drop for Drover. Drover the shot, and a great save there from Wilson, who is just in perfect positioning, giving Drover next to nothing to shoot at. And that Moncton High breakout will not go unnoticed. Just a beautiful breakout on all fronts. Somers and Avery in the draw again. It's a tie-up, still in the face-off dot before it's Brandon Warner getting down into the corner. Kavanaugh circling it around. Purdy will get that one almost intercepted by Brandon Warner to the net, covered by McLaughlin. Kavanaugh down in the corner. Atkinson up to Kavanaugh. The Royals trying to get it set up in the offensive zone. Purdy almost giving away that one. Right in the slot, there's the chance. That just is sent wide. Harris will go off the glass right to center, where it's caught in by Gillis as he works his way up on Purdy. Gillis stops, hits the brakes. Purdy, he reads him perfectly on defense. Somers might have a break the other way. Going to Atkinson. The saucer pass to the middle, where Woods is unable to get a stick on it. Back for Somers. Somers hovering the board, sending it across, where that one had gone off the stick of a Purple Knight. Drover sending it to the middle. Kavanaugh regathered back up in a glove, and the Knights will go offside as Brandon Warner barely unable to see that one. Jackson Avery still getting into some shoving matches. And it's clear Jackson Avery is not liked from the boys across the Gunningsville Bridge. He's made more rivals than friends tonight. And we're going to have our second timeout for Moncton High. A minute and 32 left to go in the second. Brainerd Lane from the K. 0-0 as we get down to the last minute of play in period 2. Now the puck is dropped, getting less than a minute and a half to go. Harris trying to bring it into the zone. I tried a little backhand dish. Bedford walking in, trying a shot, blocked by Ty Warner. Anderson will throw this one against the glass, where it's rimmed around. McCready in a foot race with Curvin. It's McCready that wins it, going behind the net. It's Stan right at the side of the net. They look after it. And this one flipped out off the high glass. Bedford walking in, high slot, wide open, the shot turned away. And that one somehow stays out of the net as we get to now the last minute. Ty Warner in the corner being shoved against the boards by two Royals. In comes Daigle in for help. The bouncing puck will barely exit the line. Caught it. The clear caught by McLaughlin as the Knights will now have some chance to regroup. Ty Warner, that's Harris. Working out slowly, dangling around a couple. Here's Harris walking in with some room. The shot blocked off a shin pad of McCready. Now Somers back the other way. Working in Jackson Somers. He'll try a shot. That's gloved down by McLaughlin. at 22.2. So here's the chance from just earlier. There's the puck off the high glass. Harris going across for Ty Warner. Ty Warner, the high backhander. Be stopped by Kavanaugh, who goes to one knee. Kavanaugh curling. Then sent to the blue line. His pass blocked by Brandon Warner, trying to get a stick on it. And Kavanaugh just got there first. Harris stepping in, needs to shoot quickly. Walking in, there it is. And it's turned away by Wilson, as there's now 0.7 left to go in period 2. So it looks like we'll go into the intermission after 2 periods, still tied at 0, as we look for our first goal in this hockey game. Quickly off the draw, Kavanaugh will jump on it. And all 0 still left on the clock after period 2. Another great period played by both teams. Stick around for period 3 here on Moncton High Sports. Brain Lane from the K Arena on a Sunday night. It's game 2 of a best-of-5 series. Riverview High leads the series 1-0, and both teams are tied in this game at 0-0. Battle with Ty Warner. Chappell being pinned. Ty Warner in there. Lewis gives a shot from behind to Daigle, and that's in the corner. A beautiful saucer pass up to the blue line. Ty Warner will shoot it from far, and that one didn't get on net. They jam at it, curve it out in front. Manderson in there as well, but they can't. In behind the cage from Lewis, who's out of the box. The Royals come back up with steam the other way. Walking in here, Sommers, the shot turned away by McLaughlin. The rebound, the line. Losing possession of the puck. Here's Beal on a breakaway. Beal, the shot turned away by Wilson. Unsuccessful in that draw. Went up to the line where it's cleared to Mike Newcomb. Another one sent right up the gut. Newcomb plays it right to the high slot. There's the shot, and I believe that one just caught. Poke check by Manderson. Harris across for Beal to the middle. Webb, he's destroyed at center. Avery and taken by Gillis. Ryan Gillis working in, and the loose puck deke did not fool Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh, he's hit from behind by Gillis. Trying to get the exact call for you. There's Atkinson winning the draw at the line. There's the shot off the blocker. McLaughlin. This one goes Fleming to the middle. Lutz, poke check. Here's Kerman walking in. There's the slap shot. And saved by Wilson. The whistle hasn't gone yet. Cover in the corner. Tossed up, blocked in. Here's Webb working his way in. Webb, the shot turned away by Wilson. The line, Harris towards the net. It's redirected by the tall Brandon Warner. Just wide. There's Avery throwing a huge hit in open ice. Royal falling down in center. Avery again being hit. There's Brandon Warner with a huge hit, but that one's going to be Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh, the soft dish off for Atkinson. Or that's Sommers, excuse me, back for Atkinson. There's a shot from Sommers that's denied. Around the boards, there's a huge reverse hit right in the corner. Battle with Ty Warner. Chappell being pinned. Ty Warner in there. Lewis gives a shot from behind to Daigle, and that's in the corner. A beautiful saucer pass up to the blue line. Ty Warner will shoot it from far, and that one didn't get on net. They jam at it, curve it out in front. Manderson in there as well, but they can't. In behind the cage from Lewis, who's out of the box. The Royals come back up with steam the other way. Walking in here, Sommers, the shot turned away by McLaughlin. The rebound, the line. Losing possession of the puck. Here's Beal on a breakaway. Beal, the shot turned away by Wilson. Unsuccessful in that draw. Went up to the line where it's cleared to Mike Newcomb. Another one sent right up the gut. Newcomb plays it right to the high slot. There's the shot, and I believe that one just caught. Poke check by Manderson. Harris across for Beal to the middle. Webb, he's destroyed at center. Avery and taken by Gillis. Ryan Gillis working in, and the loose puck dig did not fool Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh, he's hit from behind by Gillis. Trying to get the exact call for you. There's Atkinson winning the draw at the line. There's the shot off the blocker. McLaughlin, this one goes Fleming to the middle. Lutz, poke check. Here's Kerman walking in. There's the slap shot. And saved by Wilson. The whistle hasn't gone yet. Cover in the corner. Tossed up, blocked in. Here's Webb working his way in. Webb, the shot turned away by Wilson. The line, Harris towards the net. It's redirected by the tall Brandon Warner. Just wide. There's Avery throwing a huge hit in open ice. Royal falling down at center. Avery again being hit. There's Brandon Warner with a huge hit, but that one's going to be Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh, the soft dish off for Atkinson. Or that's Somers, excuse me, back for Atkinson. There's a shot from Somers that's denied. Around the boards, there's a huge reverse hit right in the corner. Battling with Ty Warner. Chappell being pinned. Ty Warner in there. Lewis gives a shot from behind to Daigle, and that's in the corner. A beautiful saucer pass up to the blue line. Ty Warner will shoot it from far, and that one didn't get on net. They jam at it. Curvin out in front. Manderson in there as well, but they can't. In behind the cage from Lewis, who's out of the box. The Royals come back up with steam the other way. Walking in here, Somers. The shot turned away by McLaughlin. The rebound, the line. Losing possession of the puck. Here's Beal on a breakaway. Beal, the shot turned away by Wilson. Unsuccessful in that draw. Went up to the line where it's cleared to Mike Newcomb. Another one sent right up the gut. Newcomb plays it right to the high slot. There's the shot, and I believe that one just caught. Poke check by Manderson. Harris across for Beal to the middle. Webb, he's destroyed at center. Avery and taken by Gillis. Ryan Gillis working in, and the loose puck dig did not fool Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh, he's hit from behind by Gillis. Trying to get the exact call for you. There's Atkinson winning the draw at the line. There's the shot off the blocker. McLaughlin, this one goes Fleming to the middle. Lutz, poke check. Here's Kerman walking in. There's the slap shot. And saved by Wilson. The whistle hasn't gone yet. Cover in the corner. Tossed up, blocked in. Here's Webb working his way in. Webb, the shot turned away by Wilson. The line, Harris towards the net. It's redirected by the tall Brandon Warner. Just wide. There's Avery throwing a huge hit in open ice. Royal falling down at center. Avery again being hit. There's Brandon Warner with a huge hit, but that one's going to be Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh, the soft dish off for Atkinson. Or that's Somers, excuse me, back for Atkinson. There's a shot from Somers that's denied. Around the boards, there's a huge reverse hit right in the corner. On their home ice, the Byron Dobson last Monday, where game 3 will be tomorrow. There's a nice little snag by McLaughlin in the glove. Battling with Ty Warner. Chappell being pinned. Ty Warner in there. Lewis gives a shot from behind to Daigle, and that's in the corner. A beautiful saucer pass up to the blue line. Ty Warner will shoot it from far, and that one didn't get on net. They jam at it. Curvin out in front. Manderson in there as well, but they can't. In behind the cage from Lewis, who's out of the box. The Royals come back up with steam the other way. Walking in here, Somers. The shot turned away by McLaughlin. The rebound, the line. Losing possession of the puck. Here's Beal on a breakaway. Beal, the shot turned away by Wilson. Unsuccessful in that draw. Went up to the line where it's cleared to Mike Newcomb. Another one sent right up the gut. Newcomb plays it right to the high slot. There's the shot, and I believe that one just caught. Poke check by Manderson. Harris across for Beal to the middle. Webb, he's destroyed at center. Avery taken by Gillis. Ryan Gillis working in, and the loose puck dig did not fool Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh, he's hit from behind by Gillis. Trying to get the exact call for you. There's Atkinson winning the draw at the line. There's the shot off the blocker. McLaughlin. This one goes Fleming to the middle. Lutz. Poke check. Here's Kerman walking in. There's a slap shot. And saved by Wilson. The whistle hasn't gone yet. Cover in the corner. Tossed up. Blocked in. Here's Webb working his way in. Webb. The shot. Turned away by Wilson. At the line, Harris towards the net. It's redirected by the tall Brandon Warner. Just wide. There's Avery throwing a huge hit in open ice. Royal falling down at center. Avery again being hit. There's Brandon Warner with a huge hit, but that one's going to be Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh, the soft dish off for Atkinson. Or that's Somers, excuse me, back for Atkinson. There's a shot from Somers that's denied. Around the boards, there's a huge reverse hit right in the corner. On their home ice, the Byron Dobson last Monday, where Game 3 will be tomorrow. There's a nice little snag by McLaughlin in the glove. Battling with Ty Warner. Chappell being pinned. Ty Warner in there. Lewis gives a shot from behind to Daigle, and that's in the corner. A beautiful saucer pass up to the blue line. Ty Warner will shoot it from far, and that one didn't get on net. They jam at it. Curvin out in front. Manderson in there as well, but they can't. In behind the cage from Lewis, who's out of the box. The Royals come back up with steam the other way. Walking in here, Somers. The shot turned away by McLaughlin. The rebound, the line. Losing possession of the puck. Here's Beal on a breakaway. Beal, the shot turned away by Wilson. Unsuccessful in that draw. Went up to the line where it's cleared him by Newcomb. Another one sent right up the gut. Newcomb plays it right to the high slot. There's the shot, and I believe that one just caught. Poke check by Manderson. Harris across for Beal to the middle. Webb, he's destroyed at center. Avery taken by Gillis. Ryan Gillis working in, and the loose puck dig did not fool Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh, he's hit from behind by Gillis. Trying to get the exact call for you. There's Atkinson winning the draw at the line. There's the shot off the blocker. McLaughlin. This one goes Fleming to the middle. Lutz. Poke check. Here's Kerman walking in. There's a slap shot. And saved by Wilson. The whistle hasn't gone yet. Cover in the corner. Tossed up. Blocked in. Here's Webb working his way in. Webb. The shot. Turned away by Wilson. The line, Harris towards the net. It's redirected by the tall Brandon Warner. Just wide. There's Avery throwing a huge hit in open ice. Royal falling down at center. Avery again being hit. There's Brandon Warner with a huge hit, but that one's going to be Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh, a soft dish off for Atkinson. Or that's Somers, excuse me, back for Atkinson. There's a shot from Somers that's denied. Around the boards, there's a huge reverse hit right in the corner. And we start this third period just like how we started the first. Still tied at 0-0 here on Moncton High Sports. Here's Harris moving it in along the blue line. Harris dangling in, couldn't quite hold possession. It's swatted away by Birdie into the corner. Kavanaugh chasing on it. Lays a hit on Gillis. Right in the middle, loose, close to the slot. Avery curling around. He was stripped of the puck. Kavanaugh again. He'll try a little flip. Get this one out. A good stick by Harris to keep that one away. Bedford walking in along the left. Bedford, the shot, he scores! And we finally have our icebreaker, Tim Bedford, skating in along the left side. And it only took 49 minutes and 37 seconds. And that's going to get the Royals bench fired up in this one. They finally got one. And that is going to be a key goal in this game. There's a shot to save, and the rebound is just bumped over the net. Cleared back to the Riverview High end, where now Moncton High needs to play from behind. They've had a lot of scoring chances thus far. There's a quick shot blocked by the shin pad of Ty Warner. Lewis working his way down. Chappell turning, spinning. Ty Warner with the poke. Regathered back. Lewis had that one taken away by Ty Warner. He'll flip that one along the boards. It's kicked back into the zone. Working in, still hovering around the blue line. Webb will regather, get to the red line, and shoot that one into the Riverview High zone. This one wired along the opposite side of the ice. Will not go for icing. Harris across for LeBlanc. Back for Harris. Poked loose. It's going closer and closer to the slot, but Harris with a good stick. And will lift it of the opposing player, curving against the boards. Daigle going to chase. First one there is going to be Newcomb going in around the boards. Daigle steals in the corner. Climbing up the wall, regathered, drove for the sharp angle shot, and that one close to the net. Although nearly impossible for a deflection. Walking in, curving the shot, patted away by Wilson as he finds it in the corner. Royals work their way back up. Skating in here is Harris. Watched closely by Fleming as the Royals will keep this one in the zone. Shot around by Lutz. Harris stops in the corner. Lifts it up. Over for Curvin. Or that's Drover, excuse me. Working his way through. Tatum Drover walking in. He's going to try a shot where that one's patted away and into the corner by Wilson. As the Moncton High players will get some fresh troops on the ice. LeBlanc going up for a hit. Retaken in, almost a hit there along the plywood. Near boards. They battle for it as it's poked out to center. Royals working their way back in. Stepping in, Bedford to the middle, and that one just missed the net. Harris almost knocks it into his own cage as this one will not go for an icing. And this one almost a must-win for Moncton High. Right out in front. Avery trying to get a backhand shot on it. Murray will hold this one at the line. Murray cutting down past one. Trying to shovel it to the middle. And will be unable to as this one's sent high. Working in. That play is canceled off there by Warner. Murray against the wall. Brandon Warner walking in. The shot, he scores! Brandon Warner, game is tied. Just minutes after Bedford got the Royals at the lead. And Brandon Warner with a howitzer that Wilson doesn't expect. And this game is now tied at 1. Here's Woods in the neutral zone. Saucing that one across. Beal up for Harris, who will wire this one in. Manderson will get it along the near boards. Manderson working his way into the slot, the shot, the save, the rebound. Webb digs at it, and that one ends up near the side of the net. Beal going up. Manderson, no one covering the blue line as Beal finally ends up there. Beal sends his man down to the ground. They still dig for it. It's Harris that finds it loose and will dump it in. Kavanaugh weaving through his own end. Well, that's Lewis, rather. Working his way and deflected right in the slot. McCready at the blue line, getting past Beal. McCready down low behind the net. Lewis waits, banks it off the back of the net, right on in front, bouncing puck. McLaughlin able to get onto that one. And 25 right there has been huge for Moncton High. So our 2 goals this game make it Bedford from Atkinson and Saunders, Brandon Warner from Avery, and Tyler Warner. So the Warner bros linking up, both getting points on that one. Murray along the boards. Ty Warner hits the brakes. A nice little spinorama before he throws out on the boards, just out of the reach of Dangle. Ty Warner back in his own end. Shuffles a little bit, so that pass to Dangle over his stick. And down the ice it goes for icing. Face-off, McLaughlin's right. Warner along the boards. Drover will try to deflect this one out. It ends up in the Moncton High bench. Here's Drover sliding in off the draw, and then send that one to Kervin with a nice move. Kervin on a foot race for it. Wilson gets out of his net to redirect that one away. Potential one-on-one, walking back is Woods. Deflects that one up high. There's the shot that misses the net. More and more chances coming for each of these teams. Kervin trying to split his way in. Here's Harris with a nice move. Harris, here's the shot, saved. It's still a back and forth game. There's a shot that misses wide. Harris will then finish his hit on McCready. Atkinson with Gillis, down for Somers. Somers in the corner, curling around. Hit by Avery, out in front. Atkinson, the turnaround shot attempt. That one didn't get on net at the line. Engelhart to the middle, McCready. Moving slowly towards the slot before being deflected back up towards Kervin. Kervin will send that one up against the boards and outside the zone. Woods moving back, banked up against the boards for Harris. Harris looking in the neutral zone. Brandon Warner skating up with it into the zone. He'll dump that one in, go for a chase. Gillis unable to get to that one first. The Royals move it back. There's Harris with a poke check before shoving his man along outside, and offside called by the linesman. Back in Moncton High's end. Murray up the boards. There's a huge hit late on Beal Oliver Fleming stepping into that hit. Lays out Beal. He gets up right away. Ty Warner. The backhand that one into the zone. Beal going after it. Leaving it behind. No one there. Royals might have a chance to clear. There's Manderson stealing, dangling in. Manderson winding it along the right side. Waiting, almost blown up by Fleming. Ty Warner walking in from the line. There's the shot. That one somehow didn't go in. Redirected right before. Murray trying to hold it at the line. He touches it, so he's just offside. Harris off the draw, goes to the opposite side. LeBlanc stepping up in the neutral zone. Clears this one in. Purdy turning, looking towards the boards. Tries to go along the boards now as the Royals head back the other way. Bournet working, there's the shot, that doesn't go on net. Lewis, his attempted pass in the middle is stolen. Braden Daigle works his way up. Daigle skates in and will shoot it in now. Daigle up against Chappell. They battle deep into the corner. Royals looking after it there. Shot up against the boards. Lewis stops it at the line. Will lay a high backhander as we get closer to the midway stage of the third period. Still all knotted up at one. And here's a steal walking in. There's the backhander. They score! Jackson Sommers, the steal and score on his backhand. And Sommers making it look easy after the steal, and then the backhander in through the back of the net. So the Royals will regain their lead once more. Royals stepping in, pass in the middle. Warner was unable. A shot at 10, that one didn't get on net. Ty Warner going after it along the board, stopped in by Atkinson. Atkinson to Sommers. Sommers with some room. There's the shot that just misses the net. Brandon Warner unable to get that one. Here's Avery working back in behind his net. Jackson Avery going to safety. Works that one up to Gillis, over to Brandon Warner, who tried to dump it in, had it stolen, got it back. Purple Knights quick delayed offside. They'll get back onside. Engelhardt moving back. And the pass through center, picked off, walking in. Here's Webb, the shot turned away by Wilson as the rebound's in. Right in tight. As Webb almost was able to replicate what Sommers had done just a minute ago. And that one is Sommers unassisted at 11-10. Quick shot from the line that doesn't go through. Harris gonna try. And that one, the save is made with Wilson standing up. Royals off the draw, they find it in the corner. It's Murray, able to hold it in at the blue line. Behind the net, Newcomb, he's given a bump. Manderson In behind the net, looking out in the corner, up to the blue line. Woods waits, puts one towards the net. There's the save and the rebound. Still loose on the slot. There's a big hit right out in the crease. Attempted clear, will get past Harris. Could be a 2-on-1 developing. Walking in, Fleming, the shot save. McLaughlin doesn't know where it is. And he finds it in between his pads and is able to smother it. Here's the chance from Moncton High from earlier. Woods gets a shot on net. Angle at the side of the net. He turns it over. Lewis walks in. Sharp angle shot. Redirected by the stick of McLaughlin. Bournet trying to go to the line. Now had gone to the net. Ty Warner will find it in the corner. Scoop it up against the wall. Curvin. A little shovel pass to Drover. Drover, the quick shot. Wilson will be there for the save. And he'll cover at 9:01 of the third. Attempted shot again from the blue line to be taken away by the Royals. Drover in there forechecking, almost played it perfectly. At the blue line, Murray trying to get a stick on it. Back at the blue line. Here's the backhand pass to the near boards, out of the reach of Atkinson. Curvin, a nice little play to get it off the boards. Still keep it. This one sent high. Curvin again trying to find it in his feet. Sommers back in the Moncton High zone. Backhander from Murray for Warner. We'll go behind the net, back for Murray. A risky pass, but that one gets right to Ty Warner, who now will find himself some open ice. Try to saucer it across to the streaking Ryan Gillis, but it's shot back in the Moncton High zone. Murray will take it behind the net. Now turn it over here. Atkinson, backhander out in front, will get it back. The second pass attempt is stolen by Ty Warner as he now heads up ice. Here's Curvin walking in. Ethan Curvin to the net. Turning around in the corner. Curvin trying to go up high, and that pass hit off of someone, and he'll get it back somehow. Curvin drops it off. Harris the shot. That one didn't get on net. Another try. Curvin trying to shovel that one out in front. Harris working into the zone. Somehow keeps possession. The backhander towards the net didn't work. Curvin backhanding up to the line for Woods. They'll send that one in. It'll go to the opposite point now for Harris, who comes into the zone. Here's Woods, one-timer, almost blocked by Gillis, but turned away. Offensive zone draw for Moncton High. It's a tie-up. Woods will hold it in at the line. His dump in is stopped here by Gillis. Avery pinning his man along the boards. Gillis fighting his way to the middle, up to the blue line. Here's Harris walking in with the shot. That one didn't go. The backhander, and another good save by Wilson. As the Knights now are getting more and more chances. Here's we get down to the late stages of the third. Royals flip it in. Caught by the glove of McLaughlin, and he'll hold on. 6:57 still remains in our third period. Ty Warner going in behind his net. trying to throw it out. Had it blocked, but he gets it back. Ty Warner fighting off Bornay as it's now into neutral ice. Webb working in along the right side. He hits the brakes, goes up back towards the blue line. Got it caught up in the feet of Beal. Beal will get it down. Murray, he reverses his man. This one still gets out to center. The Knights applying some nice pressure and puck management and control. Beal trying to work his way in with it. He had it stolen. Lewis will go back to his defense. Shot up against the glass. Will not go for icing, although McLaughlin had signaled as if it would. Ty Warner waiting with it for Murray. Murray through open ice. It's redirected by Atkinson and moved down right to the net of Wilson. So we'll have an offensive zone draw for Moncton High. Quick shot from the blue line. It's blocked. There's another try right to the side of the net. Now taken around the net. It's moved up to Curvin. Shot right through the crease. Drover tried a deflection on that one. Royals work their way back out. Stepping in, quick shot. McLaughlin saves that one. Right to the side of the net. Somers unable to get to that one. Harris in the corner. Working in behind his net. Merges out the left side. Has some speed. Will dump it into the zone. As well as reverse Atkinson. This one cleared outside the zone. Woods will throw it against the wall. Held in. Here's Bedford walking in. Bedford side of the net. Around the net. Out in front of the crease. And it's deflected off the skates of Gillis. Harris will regather. Waiting, a little backhand feed for Woods. Woods to the neutral zone. He'll get that one perfectly over to Gillis. He'll walk in with a shot, which is turned away. Open puck, no one going after it. Here's Curvin stepping in, sharp angle shot, and that one didn't get to the net. You're all the way down. Final 5 of the third. It's a nice thing against Riverview High. Around the board, stopped in by Warner. Ty Warner, his shot blocked in by Fleming as it's cleared in and along the boards. Murray stopping, trying to hand that one off to Ty Warner. Now pressuring his man against the boards. Walking in, Lutz, and out a whistle. Looked like Murray and Fleming in a tie-up. Another tie-up off the draw. Gillis trying to get it outside. Chappell able to put it down deep into the zone. Murray across for Ty Warner, up for Brandon Warner. Shot back over the stick of Ty Warner. McLaughlin in outside the net to stop. Ty Warner waiting, sees he has a bit of room, hits the brakes, will bank it along the boards. Brandon Warner receives and goes to Avery. The Royals are going to try to play a more defensively sound game. They're now up 1. And the Knights are chasing. Drover, Murray, Ty Warner. Ty Warner working his way, accelerating through center. Stepping in, a nice little toe drag, loses the puck. He now has to look for it in the corner, send out in the slot, and no one there to bury it for Moncton High. This one sent high, could be a breakaway. Here's McLaughlin out of his net, and will backhand it. It's turned over Lewis' side of the net, hits the post, and he didn't have an angle, but still a valiant attempt. Atkinson will move it back. Royals with possession, less than 3 to go. Stepping up here, there's a shot from McCready, and that one just missed the cage. Herman, pass up for Webb, dropped off for Harris. Poke check by Sommers. Shot into the zone, McLaughlin wanting to cover, and he had to quickly swipe at that one. Atkinson coming up out of nowhere. Kervin working his way through the zone. Kervin walking in on Sommers, hits the brakes. Pressure from Bedford as he's now deep into the corner. Weird back with Woods. Just over 2 to go. Woods right through the middle. The backhander into the zone by Webb. Manderson turning around, trying to control. And he was stripped of the puck. And we'll have to watch out for McLaughlin soon. He might be going to the bench at any moment. Woods for Manderson. Manderson stepping in to the slot. There it is, and the shot is redirected up and over the glass and into the netting. And Moncton High will take their timeout. Less than 2 minutes to go in the third period. Moncton High down by a score of 2-1 here on Moncton High Sports. Raina Lane from the K in Louisville in Game 2 of the NBIAA AAA East Division playoffs. And McLaughlin out of the net. Now an empty net. There's a shot, side of the net. That one didn't go. That one cleared all the way down and will go for icing. Well, Moncton High with an empty net. Last minute and a half. Jackson Avery in to take the draw. He wins it cleanly as it goes up to Ty Warner. Ty Warner will ram it along the wall. Taken back by the Royals. Flip out, blocked by Ty Warner. His shot was redirected off a foot to find its way in the corner. Here's Manderson. Unable to take control. It's the Royals that bring it out. Shot towards the empty net. They score! Jackson Sommers will get his second of the game into the empty net. And he'll make no mistake from just beyond center. Will send it into the wide open cage. Cleared in, McLaughlin. Will stop this one. Harris cutting around behind his net. Moving up along the boards. Gets past Weir. Harris still with it. Here's the shot. Save is made. And McLaughlin back to the bench. We have another empty net for Moncton High. Ty Warner will get it into the zone. Attempted clear will just find its way out, and we'll have a breakaway here with an empty net. And it's put in, and they score. It's Jet Lutz that puts it in. And definitely not the way Moncton High wanted to end an incredibly played game. And definitely tell some frustration on the Moncton High bench as they played just in an insane game the first two periods. And that second goal really hurt. Here's Weir's side of the net, looking out in front for Lutz. Here's Beal, hit on Lutz. Webb, back for Beal. Beal dodging a hit from Fleming. Now absorbing one from Lutz. Webb, he's bumped by Fleming, held in at the line by Weir. His loose puck deke was intercepted by Webb. Manderson working his way into the zone and offside. As now there's just 10 seconds to go. Anderson being escorted away by the officials. Here's LeBlanc. Back with it, trying to throw it up. It's intercepted. There's a quick shot on net. Safe from McLaughlin. The rebound is put back on net, and that ends the game. LeBlanc going to give a little love tap to Chappell. And the Royals will go up in the series by a score of 2-0. And game 3 is coming right away tomorrow night, weather permitting, of course. And this very much could be the last home game that the Purple Knights will play at the K Arena this year. But tomorrow night, 8:15, Byron Dobson. And we hope to see you back tomorrow night for game 3 here on Moncton High Sports. Braden Lane signing off from the K in Louisville. Your final score, Riverview 4, Moncton High 1.